Hey y'all, so this is the original hairstyle that I had, but I actually wanted something different because I wasn't liking the way that it was looking. So here I am just re-parting my hair, and I sped this up because it took me entirely too long to part my hair into the sections that I did. It took me like 30 minutes for some reason. I don't know why, but that seemed like a long time for me considering that there weren't many braids that I was doing. And honestly, this style took a long time. And maybe it felt like it was a long time because I started my hair super late. So and I do not recommend combing your hair out with a rat tail comb. I also kept twisting the twist the wrong way, so I was restarting almost every single twist over. So yeah, that definitely added to the time. So make sure that you're twisting the hair the correct way the first time. What's the topic for me to speak about? Um, to stop being so hard on yourself. And this is a topic for me too. There are always going to be things in life where you feel the need to stress about them. And As people, we tend to stress about things that we literally have no control over. And when you're in a state of stress, all you're doing is activating your fight or flight system. And you are cutting off the parts of your brain that deal with critical thinking. Yeah, I had to take that piece out and add some more hair. I just thought that was too small. But yeah. In order to get a solution, your mind needs to be in a relaxed state so you can think properly. And honestly, I know we feel a lot of guilt about things, and we have to realize we are the ones who are making ourselves feel guilty. Oftentimes, we stress and worry ourselves with things that haven't even happened yet. Future possibilities. And that is no way to live. Because how can you possibly come up with a solution for anything if you're trying to come up with solutions for something that may or may not happen? I think it's important to also realize you do not have to have all the answers or all the solutions, or try to be the one that's overextending yourself so much that you put your own self on the back burner. And I get it. We want to be there for everyone and help with their problems. But it's time to help with your own problems and not forget that if you don't address your problems, eventually there will be no room left to address anyone else's problems. Because your problem is going to take you for a whirlwind. And honestly, the only battle that needs to be fought on your end is the battle with yourself. Other people have to do their battle for themselves. You can't walk other people's path for them. You can't burn yourself out, because at the end of the day, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. And, relationships are important in this life, but also we need to take into account the relationship with ourselves, because that is the most important relationship. That is number one. Because if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, how can you expect to have a good relationship with others? Because whatever you are giving to yourself is all you can ever give to others. And if all you're ever giving to yourself is mediocre, all you're ever going to give to other people is mediocre, even if you mean the best. So, make sure that you are doing the things that you enjoy. And not always, Well, I gotta think about others. Because when you think about yourself, that in turn is thinking about others. Like, we get taught that, being selfless is the only right action and being selfish is wrong. But being selfless can be very detrimental, especially when that is the only way of life that you know. And you think that being selfish is wrong. And it's not. Because sometimes you need to take a step back to reevaluate things. And when you're always in a selfless mode, that causes you to not want to step back. Because everyone else is always going to have something for you to do. And a very important thing is, eventually your body and your mind and your soul will get tired of sending you messages that it is time to go within, and you will have no choice but to go within. Because nothing else will feel right, nothing else will seem right. You'll just feel so out of whack and you won't even know. You'll be sitting there wondering, like, what is wrong with you? And what's wrong with you is you take no time for you. It's always, I'm doing something for someone else versus, what am I doing for myself today? And I know it sounds so cliche, but honestly, think about it. Throughout the day, what is the thing that you really do?
Here you go, Capitan.
That you love for yourself, that you enjoy doing, that brings you joy, that fills your soul up? Do you do at least one thing every day? Or is it, I'm doing things because, I have to, or I feel like I have to be there for this person or be there for that person? When do you take the time to be there for yourself? To hear yourself? To really understand? See, things aren't happening for no reason. We have to understand that everyone goes through a season, through a time in their life. And we have to have that room of understanding what season we are in. We have to understand our purpose. Because if we don't understand our purpose, then we think everything is our purpose. And then we're signing up for things that is not in alignment. And we're taking on things that we don't need to take on. There is no reason for you to be carrying the stress of another person, regardless of who it is. Life is a beautiful thing, regardless of the circumstances. Having breath, you're capable of anything. But you have to use that breath to know those capabilities. What I mean by using that breath is slowing yourself down, taking the time you actually need, slowing your mind down. Stop allowing all of this stimulating activity for yourself. If you know you are not in a space to always hear about problems, because then you get stuck in the loop of problems versus solutions. When those type of topics and conversations come up, because stressing about something does not bring a solution. All it does is block out a solution. And I know we love and care about other people so much, but there comes a time where you have to love and care about yourself a lot more. So you can never be throwing yourself to the wayside. Because if you have to throw yourself to the wayside, that's not a thing for you to be doing. And that's when you know you are taking on something that is not yours. You're putting too much, you're carrying too much, you're carrying your weight and everybody else's weight. And it's time to set that down and hold yours.
The usual sandwich, Sam?
Yes, but no.
I don't like this. This one's kind of too small.
Introducing new
So now we
Sara
do
Lee white bread
this.
made with veggies. It's nutritious.
When you avoid yourself, all you're doing is piling up more and more day by day. And then guess what? When you're carrying someone else's stuff, you're allowing them to avoid stuff, and then they're piling up more and more day by day. So then now you got two weights piling up on you. And that is no fun. Be okay with things falling apart. You do not need to always be Mrs. Fix-It. What would you rather fall apart? You or what someone else has going on? Because you're not doing their part. That's where you put it down and you say, this is your part. You do not have to live out someone else's life for them. do not have to walk in their path. It is okay. They will figure it out. Just like you have to figure things out. And it's okay not to have the answers for others, especially when you don't have the answers for yourself. Life is not a race. Because you know what? You'd be headed to nowhere pretty fast. And honestly, I'd rather be going at a steady pace and heading to a beautiful destination, because the journey is the destination, versus, ooh, I want to be in this spot. And then when you get to that spot, it's like, oh, now I want to be over here. Or, oh no, now this is the next spot. And just rushing to this metaphorical spot. When the spot is the journey that is building you up, that's building character. And you have to know when it's time just to pull in the rein. And you'll know. Because we always do. Yeah. There's no need to feel guilty about things that you have no control over. All you're doing is wasting your energy. Your energy could be spent elsewhere, like actually finding a solution to the thing you're worried about. Yeah, and the reason why these are already twisted, because I had a hairstyle and with these for like a week, and honestly I don't really like it that much. I'll post a picture of that hairstyle. It just wasn't the oomph I wanted. But you know what? I would like to take the time and read one of my new favorite poems. The poem is called The Guest House by Rumi. And it states, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows, who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And I read that poem. I've been reading it a lot. And I read it as a reminder of my emotions and to go with the flow and allow them to pass, and know that what I'm feeling, what emotion is coming up, is not the end all be all. There is room for interpretation, and to just have the experience the emotion is bringing in, or the information that the emotion is bringing to my attention, bringing to the forefront. I know that we haven't been taught, well, I'm gonna say me, not we. I wasn't taught a lot about emotions. I didn't grow up in a home where emotions were
Support life-saving
respected.
pancreatic cancer research. Research for patients. Research for those we've lost. Research for all of us. Make a gift today
So,
to support critical patients.
as an adult now, I am learning more about those things and emotional management, emotional intelligence, and all those words. And just being authentic in my emotions. And knowing that whatever I feel is okay. It's not wrong. Like the poem said, it's a guest house. When you're at a guest house, you don't stay forever, right? So I take that into account, that these emotions will not last forever if I allow them to pass, and what is coming up to be revealed to me, and just take the time to sit with it versus running. Because that's what I would do a lot. I would act like I'm not feeling what is typically known as a negative emotion, but no emotions are negative. There's no negative and positive. It just is. It's not even there are. It is just that, an emotion. And I think it's important to know that our experiences do not define us, do not define the type of life that we will have. Our reactions do, our actions do. And know that our experiences are not us. And we do not have to keep holding that on and being like, okay, well, this happened to me, and then being like, this is the defining moment for me in my life. Because it's not true. It doesn't have to be true. Our experiences are just that, experiences. And you can choose to look at your experiences from a lens of growth or from a fixed lens. And for me, I'm choosing growth. I am done living in the fixed lens. Growth, for me, what I mean by choosing to see our experiences from a growth lens. You know how we all, well, not we all, but childhood trauma is a very real thing, very big topic. I've personally experienced it. But where I really learned a lot about childhood trauma was in my health class, and we learned about Nadine Burke's, where she came up with the ACEs. And it's basically, I did that one the wrong way. Where it's these set of questions that you answered if you have these type of experiences, ACEs. I'm gonna look up the exact definition. And if this interests you, I highly suggest that you look it up yourself as well. ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. Adverse Childhood Experiences. She has a TED Talk. This is old. It came out in 2015. Her TED Talk. And she has her own foundation. It's called the Burke Foundation. Also, the CDC Kaiser ACE study conducted between 1995 and 1997 was the first to examine the relationship between early childhood adversity and negative lifelong health effects. The research found that long-term impact of ACEs determined future health risks, chronic diseases, and premature death. Individuals who had experienced multiple ACEs also face higher risk of depression, addiction, obesity, attempted suicide, mental health disorders, and other health concerns. It also revealed that ACEs were surprisingly common. Almost 2/3 of respondents, part of a largely white Wolof sample, reported at least one ACE. For infants and toddlers who are exposed to persistent stress, these kind of adverse childhood experiences can cause changes in the brain structure, potentially harming their physical, emotional, and educational development far into the future. Yet ACEs are not inevitable, nor do they have to determine the destiny of a child who experiences them. ACEs can be prevented, and when they do occur, concrete steps can be taken to help children heal. Healthy parent-child relationships or other supportive relationships can serve as a protective barrier and help children foster resilience and thrive. So I'm gonna find some of the questions that they asked. So ACEs can include, looks at 10 types of stressful or traumatic events that fall into 3 categories. So the categories are abuse, neglect, and household challenges. And the abuse can be physical, emotional, and sexual. The neglect can be physical and emotional neglect. Household challenges, growing up in a household with incarceration, mental illness, substance use, parental separation or divorce, or intimate partner violence. And then these are other common ACEs that weren't in the original study that was conducted. So poverty, racism, other violence like getting bullied, seeing others get hurt in your neighborhood, community or school, intergenerational or cultural trauma like slavery, Holocaust, the displacement and genocide of indigenous people, separation from a parent or caregiver because of immigration or foster care, big life changes like migration or immigration, being a refugee or seeking asylum, moving to a new area where you don't know anyone,
Your local Ashley
or
store is
separation
now
from someone
0%
important to
interest
you.
for 6 years on all Tempur.
Bereavement or in survivorship, having a relative or caregiver die, or suffering or surviving an illness, injury, or accident or natural disaster. Adult responsibilities as a child, like caring for someone who's sick or disabled, or being the one responsible for getting food on the table at a young age. So those are all examples of adverse childhood experiences. And I can't even remember why I started talking about that. But I do think it's important to know these things because it can really share with you, or you can really see for yourself or understand that, you know, these factors play a huge role in our life. Well, they can play a huge role when we think of our experiences as us, and we continue to carry those experiences with us, because you will continue to make decisions from that lens. And I was talking about the growth mindset or the fixed mindset, and I said I was looking at it from a growth mindset. I definitely experienced some of those things in my childhood, and I could have continued to, you know, live my life from that type of lens of being afraid and living a reactionary life. Allowing those experiences that I had to control me versus seeing that, okay, I did go through these things, but those things are not me. And I'm allowed to know that that happened. But it does not have to continue to play out in my present life, in the now, because I'm not currently experiencing those things. a growth mindset is now I can use the experiences that I had as a talking point, as a place to look back on how far I've come, and that I'm thankful to be in the space that I am in now. Use it as a stepping stone. And I say all this to say that we all have our own things to deal with. And not that I'm saying, not to be there for other people, but know when it's becoming too much. Know when it's time to reevaluate, take a step back. And I was saying that to say it's okay to be selfish. And another thing that I want to talk about is as a person who lives in the United States, a Black woman, I believe as Black people, as melanated beings is something we all like to say now. I get that race has been made such a big thing. And I know some people will not agree with this, but it is honestly a waste of your energy to always focus on that. Because we know at the end of the day, well, I'm going to say I know at the end of the day. Yeah, that one's not the right way.
Without skilled trade professionals,
That
many of the things we do every day would be impossible. UTI is making more than $15 million in scholarships and grants available to those who qualify. To help meet the demand, visit uti.edu to see jobs in demand and how you can train in less than a year.
not a battle to be fighting. Because honestly, it's just a distraction. The problem is more than race. And I believe we do ourselves a disservice when we spend so much of our energy being like, oh, I hate white people and all that kind of stuff. And not to say that, you know, racism isn't real, because, you know, there's people who believe it to be. And it does have its institutional there is institutional racism. I mean, I'm not denying that. Yeah, that's the other way. But a lot of our energy could be spent elsewhere. On things that actually matter. And personally, I used to be one of those people, but now I see that I'm about the collective. Well, I'm more about, you know, bringing all sides together, because that's what life is about, bringing all sides together and making sense of things with all people, even with different beliefs. I also believe the argument of what religion, who, like, what did Eddie Griffin say in his one of his stand-up specials? Who cares about the messenger? Did you get the message? And that is so true. Because when you really look at it, at the nitty-gritty, there are things to learn from all religions. Because they all pull from one place. And like the saying goes, you have to be willing to accept others' beliefs. You know, if it's working for them, it's working for them. Because we would not all have the same beliefs. Like, it's all about being in your space, being comfortable, and also having others being in their space and being comfortable. That is the type of space and community for me and the type of space and community I would like to provide for others. I think to judge our character of how well we get along with people who has similar beliefs is very easy, but to judge your character about how well you get along with people who have different beliefs without trying to change their beliefs to make them be similar to yours, or, you know, make them denounce their beliefs, is something truly different and special. It's about connecting many different people. And how can we connect many different people if we're, first off, separating ourselves by race, which we know is a made-up thing. And I'm not saying that the effects of that is not real, because I understand that. I'm a Black woman. There are people who are looking at me different because that's what I am, but there was also a time where I was looking at people different because of that. And it does such, and also there are times where I thought you had to live in a world where people believe the same things religiously. So not true for me now, because I have definitely changed my beliefs regarding religion. And I think it's a wonderful thing. And it's also a wonderful thing to be able to look and see the similarities, because there will be a few differences but so many similarities, and we always want to point to the few differences as a way to say, oh, this is better than that. But no one thing is better than the other. And they all have their space, their place. And we have to allow people to do what is, to believe in what they would like to believe in. And if you can't rock with it, then you know that's not the space for you. You know that's the place for you to move away from.
And here I just sped up the process because, yeah, as I said, it was taking me a really long time. As you can see, I was taking them down and starting over. I was also trying to blend in my actual hair a lot more with the twist and prevent it from sticking out as much.
Hey y'all, so I decided to do a different style because I did not like how it was turning out on me. So this is the braid down. I'm going to do crochet install. Okay. So this is what I have so far. I'm starting out in the front just so I can make sure it's not too bulky and have all the hair that I need in the front, you know, because that's the part that you are really gonna see. Because usually I would have started from the back, but
It's super late when I'm doing this, and tomorrow I have somewhere to go, so I don't want to be going to the hair store and then doing the front. So yeah. Here's the finished look, and I also did the invisible part method in the front. Here is the flexi rods. In the morning, I decided to dip them in hot water because last night I was too tired to do that. I finished pretty late. And make sure you are being careful when you're doing this because the water is extremely hot and you can easily burn yourself. Remember to dip all of your sections in the hot water because you do not want them turning out to look different. If you're able to, dip them in the hot water the night before so they can just dry overnight, but also you can do this in the morning like I did if you don't have to rush to the place that you have to go, and just blow dry them and they'll turn out perfectly fine. Here I'm starting to do my makeup, just getting ready for the day because as I said before, I have somewhere to go today. So I was just allowing my hair to dry while I was doing my makeup too. And bear with me, I'm learning to do my makeup on camera without holding the mirror up to my face so you can actually see what I'm doing. A little bit later in the video, I'll turn to the side so you can actually see the process of what I'm doing. And here I'm just cutting the ends to make sure that they're a lot more even and not looking so scraggly. And I begin to flip out the hair to kind of separate the curls a little bit and make the hair a lot bigger. And this is a finished look. I am so happy with it. I like it better than the first two styles that I did. This is what I originally wanted.
If you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.